Great. Good morning. Good morning. I love all these cameras. Actually, I don't love all these cameras, but they're everywhere. And I feel like I'm like, what's going on? Which one to look at? I think I've said that before too. So welcome to MindFit Mornings. This is Friday and our last day of our series. So excited to have you here. And there'll be access to a self-love mastermind with a link at the end of this. So stay tuned for that. So go and grab your coffee, your tea, whatever you need to get, your toast if you have it, and get ready for our final day. I hope you're all having a brilliant week. I played golf yesterday and created absolute chaos on the golf course. It's such a serious game. I made it fun because I went ballistic every time I managed to make contact with that ball. Awesome. All right, so let's get started so I don't take up everybody's time. And Friday, living with self-love. So what does it mean to be living with self-love then? I believe self-love is an acceptance of yourself, regardless of your flaws and your weaknesses. It means believing in yourself and having faith in your abilities and having a deep appreciation and admiration and respect for yourself. And that includes taking care of yourself, not just mentally, but emotionally and physically too. It means loving yourselves unconditionally, so that you take care of your own well-being without sacrificing yourself for the needs of other people. So it's not an egotistical thing, because a lot of people who think that self-love is difficult because they're programmed to think that they're not worthy of those happiness. They're not. They've been taught to believe that they're nothing and that you're egotistical and you're a big head or whatever it is. If you love yourself or you're up yourself, they equate those things. They don't understand that it's about taking care of your own well-being so you can be the best version of yourself. And I've even coached people who believe that if you focus on loving yourself, you end up neglecting or ignoring others. And it's kind of a confusing thing. And I have one person in particular that I've worked with who went to the other end of the scale. They despised themselves and they felt that they didn't deserve to love themselves. And to see any attempt to do so was being vain or self-indulgent. But whatever the reason is, you have to come back from that. And it's not really about that, because you can only love someone else to the extent you love yourself. And learning to treat yourself with kindness is crucial for your own self-worth and for your overall happiness. And I think it's crucial for living a life that's fulfilling, that's full of what you want to do to make yourself feel happy and live a life that's worth remembering. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And I want to talk to you and show you how you can do that. And I've created some tips for you to be able to do that too. So before I go there, if you've just joined me, welcome to MindFit Mornings. This has been a series, and we've been going, I think we've got over 100 of these videos now, giving you the tools so you can live your life by design, rather than just living it by default on, getting triggered on autopilot. So wherever you're saying hi from, I'd love to get some feedback from you, some comments from you. We've got 106 videos, so I'm really excited about that. Sebastian, good morning from YouTube, from Galaxy. I'm not even repeating that. Whatever those numbers are, B to D. I haven't had my coffee yet. Facebook user, I'm really sorry, it's not showing your name, but good morning to you. Sebastian says, I did not love myself between 2014 and 2020. Now I'm back being crazy romantic with myself. Nothing cheeky. Yeah, moving on. All right, so today's topic then is living with self-love. And so there are many people out there who are simply not even aware of how important this actually is. And it really, really, really is. Mike, I'm going to bang on the drum about this a bit, because they think that it's self-version. They think that it's not even necessary. I have one person, a gentleman actually, who said he thought that was all absolute nonsense. And but I think it's essential to be able to love others. Like when you love yourself, you're more likely to treat others with kindness and respect too. Remember, you see in others what you see in yourself too. So if you're not loving yourself very much, how can you love someone else, right? And if you want to learn to love yourself, you have to start accepting yourself for who you are. And by saying positive things to yourself, even if you don't believe them at first. After all, that's how you've come to believe half of the things you do now. If someone's treated you and told you you're not good enough, you tell yourself that over and over, and it's a lie. Because good enough compared to who and compared to what? Okay, so who told you and showed you that? If you've got something like that running on in the background, who told you it and who showed you that And just because someone did treat you unkindly or worse, trust me, I can relate to that, and they can't see the good in you, it doesn't mean that it's not there. And it doesn't mean that it's true. It just means they can't see it. And that shows you more about them than it does about you. But people believe it. It's, if they get told over and over. My father used to tell me I was a complete waste of space. And this is while he was beating me, so it was done under intense emotion, and say that I'll never be anything. And for whatever reason, that was a defiant little thing in my head. I go, I'll show you, I'll show you, I'll show you. Okay. So, but other people believe the wounded behavior of others, and they let other people define them, who they are and what they become. And they believe what they're told, and then they live that over and over and over enough times. So they actually make that behavior their reality. But it's a lie, right? You may mess up, you may get it wrong, and you may lie to save yourself, or you may do things that you wish you'd never done. But whatever you do, you're not your behavior. Your behavior is just what you did to get through wherever you were. Now, it doesn't make it wrong or right. It just means it's what you did. So if you stop judging it and just understand that I was at a place then and I did that, and I challenge you to show me anyone who has not messed up, who's not lied, who's not got it horribly wrong. And David Collins, thank you for joining us from that high surprise. What a surprise. And say hi, and you might, so I got totally distracted by all these banners coming up then, and they say, don't look at them. What's the surprise? You'll have to wait till the end, and then I'll show you. All right, so none of this, what I was saying before, that you mess up or you lie, you get things wrong, makes you a bad person or unworthy of love, or that you can't love yourself, okay? Because there isn't a person in the world that is squeaky clean. And if you tell me someone there is, I'll show you a liar, all right? Because when you need to rely on the validation of others to tell you who you are, if that environment was not loving, or it was totally unhealthy, like mine was, that you're unworthy, you can believe that, and you start living out that story. Now, that story, you weren't born with that story. You created that story. And I use it like this. It's like walking around a shop, guilty of this, and you pick up this, and you pick up that, and you pick up this, and you walk around with all these clothes on your arm, and you don't really need any of them. And then sometimes you walk out of the shop with them, and you think, then you take a moment, you do what I do, and you hang them up in the wardrobe. 6 months later, they've still got the tags on them. I took home things I didn't need. Now, beliefs are like that, right? You can pick up all these beliefs and take them with you, and they sit there in the background, right? Or you can just leave those clothes in the shop. You can leave those beliefs with that person and go, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's not how I feel. Because over and over and over, I choose to prove to myself that I'm good enough, right? But you can reinforce over and over the belief that you're not bad enough and treat yourself terribly, all right? So I want to ask yourself, do you think then, share with me, if you think you deserve to love yourself, whether that's a true or false statement. For me, I'll tell you, I think everyone deserves to love themselves, regardless of their flaws, because you can only be happy, lead a happy life, and love someone else to the extent you love yourself. And I'll say that again. You can only love someone else to the extent you love yourself. So true or false? What do you think? Do you think you deserve to love yourself? No. True, yes! Good morning, high-tech weather. Yes, it sure is. I'm glad you agree with that. Coughing and tuning in from Asia. I'm glad you're over there. And high-tech weather says, my best friend taught me how to love myself. And that's beautiful. It's seriously, seriously important. You become a better person for everybody, a better version of yourself. Mark Solomon says, loving yourself was a put down when I was a kid. Yeah, maybe you were called what's it the Aussies say? A skite or a big head, or you're up yourself. And good morning. I was the anonymous Facebook person. Now watching from YouTube. Well done, Mark. Hey, look at you getting all techie, jumping from one thing to another. Awesome. All right, cool. Then. So why is it important to love yourself? So tell me where you're saying hi from. Love knowing that you're all over the world, and that's really cool. I have clients all over the world, so that's really happy for me to see you all joining. So why is it important to love yourself, do you think? I think it's important because you're more likely to take care of yourself properly. You're more likely to be more positive and live more honestly, and stop people pleasing and stop trying to be everything for everybody and putting everybody else's needs first and yours last. So that's why I think it's important to love yourself. So give me your opinions. What do you think? Why do you think it's important to love yourself? And there's a special link at the end as well. Peter Ford from Basketball again. Well done for joining us. Thanks, Peter. What time is it for you? Love listening, and I love having you on here. That's fantastic. And Mark Sullivan says, true, but it feels weird to me. It does, doesn't it? When you haven't been taught that loving yourself is actually a good thing. You've been taught that loving is selfish. Yeah, when you haven't been taught that, it's a really hard thing to get your head around. I know it took me a while too. Yeah. Cool. All right. So the third question I have for you are the benefits. It's like, it's important. Oh, 10:30 must be evening for you. 10:30 evening. Thank you for staying up. And okay, so the third question, what are the benefits of living with self-love? And it's very similar to the other question, why is it important to love yourself? But you need to know that there is a slight difference. Like, one is, why is it important? Because you're going to do this. And the benefit of that is that they're multiple, of course. But living with self-love includes feeling happier and confident. It means you'll be less stressed. It means you'll be more successful in your personal and your professional lives. And you can love everyone around you. And you won't be, for me, it's about, you'll lift everybody else up. Like, I love going out and making everybody's day. Like on the golf course yesterday, I made everybody's day, because when I hit that ball, I was so excited that I was jumping up and down. And there's an Asian guy there, and he would have been, at least 10 years older than me, although he looked about 20 years younger. He was jumping around as well. And then all of a sudden, I had all these 70-year-old, the four in my group, 70-year-old males, and one was 76, was jumping up and down too. And they were like, you have to join us next week. And now I love myself because I know I'm a really good person, and I know that I do everything to help as many people as I can. And that, so he was about 30, says, I don't know. I love you, I don't know. Yeah, 10, 12, sorry. That's all right, Peter. We won't hold you to the time. So that's why it's important to love yourself, because it reduces your stress level and gives you more positive energy level. I check Mother's competing with you now, Peter. She says she still wins at 2:45 a.m. Now she's coughing. That's what gets me getting excited. And so loving yourself is about being happy so you can be happy for other people. So Peter says, don't you feel if you try to be yourself, maybe in a factory environment, then you feel singled out? Maybe you do. I worked in a factory when I was 18, and I just went around trying to make everybody's day. And is that you, Mark Sullivan, again? Agree. Loving yourself means you have the capacity to love others. It does. It really does. And seriously, when you're loving yourself, you wake up happy. And how many times, if you're listening to this now, you wake up happy every day? I wake up happy every day and smile at myself and go, woohoo, whose day can I make today? And just like, there's the homeless lady across the street, she had a cough and she was feeling really cold. So it took me about 2.5 hours to go in every shop trying to find a hot water bottle, but I found one. So we go out of our way to make other people's day and to make them smile, because then that makes you feel good about yourself. And then it's that thing, isn't it? There's a smile. When you smile at someone and they smile, and you start an epidemic of smiling. So try it. Think about, when was the last time you woke up feeling really, really happy? And, there's always stuff to be miserable about, but there's always stuff to be happy about too. So how do you go about doing that then? And Sebastian One says, oh, come back. Sophia, what? Click here to show you what? I don't even know what that is. That's obviously not meant for me. Okay, so how do you go about loving yourself? First, make time for things that make you happy. Right? Find an activity that brings you joy and make sure you do it regularly. And listen to your body. If it's not, if it's not feeling good, do something to make it feel good. And make sure you have a strong sense of purpose. And if you don't know what that is, start working on that. Go, what is my sense of purpose? What am I here for? Rather than living life on robot mode, know exactly what you want and what you like, and go after it as well. And celebrate every little success. It doesn't matter how tiny your successes are. So self-love is about just enjoying life, enjoying what you have whilst you're working on getting more of what you want. And it's also about actually setting boundaries and knowing when to say yes and how to say no, and when putting your needs first is a priority, because putting your needs first sometimes has to be a priority, right? It's also not allowing yourself to be treated disrespectfully. And if someone is not treating you, with love and respect, then it's time to set a boundary, okay? So what do you think, or how do you think you can go about loving yourself? High Tech Mother says, it's also not beating yourself on the small. Yes, 100%. It's because stop judging yourself as what you're doing is right or wrong. It just, okay, well, that didn't work out. Because there's a million ways to do something. And just because that way didn't work out, it doesn't mean the next way is not going to work out. It just means that way is not going to. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. So then if there's no one else that's going to give me any more comments on that, how you can start loving yourself, I want you to know that if you start setting boundaries and people don't like it, that's because they were getting a benefit from you not having a boundary. All right. So I want you to remember that it's not selfish. Boundaries are the way you can start. Yeah, perfect, Mark. It is. So remember that self-love is not selfish. It's not about putting yourself above others or thinking you're better than anyone else. And Facebook user says, agree, loving yourself means you have the capacity to love others. It does. And I really want to bang on the drum about that as many times as I can. You can't love anyone else unless you love yourself. And you can only love them to the extent you love yourself. So if you're judging yourself and you're criticizing yourself, you're more likely to be doing that with everybody else around you too. So it's not about, like I said, it's not about putting yourself above everybody else. It's about taking care of yourself and your own needs. It's a journey that you can practice every day. And it's about taking care of your body and mind so that you can be the best version of yourself. And, it's hard, there's so many things I could go off on that. So I wanted to go off on a million and one and different directions then. But I think people coming from a place of love are happier and they live more fulfilling lives because they're not holding themselves back by being with negative self-talk. So many people watching today, Pam. I'm so happy, Coach. Thank you, Hijack Mother. I'm so excited. There's so many things I want to say about self-love, and I want to say about stop with the self-talk, stop with the destructive behaviors, and focus on your positive qualities and on proving yourselves in the areas that need attention. That's all it is. It's not about being perfect, all right? We can't be perfect. Perfection is just a myth. It doesn't exist. And in that regard, then I've got 7 ways or 7 tips for you to start doing that. Please say, Lord, I'll be here forever. And I know I'm only supposed to be on here for a short time. And people have to get to work and I don't want to make them late. So that is all going to be included in the mastermind. And you'll get that link at the end. So the 7 tips then that I want to share with you are forgive yourself for your mistakes, okay? Because we all make them. Yeah, unlimited time. Thanks, Hijack Mother. We all make mistakes. All right, there's no need to dwell on them or beat yourself up over them. Just learn from them and move on, okay? And then the second tip is to accept yourself exactly as you are. You're perfectly imperfect, just like everybody else. Right? There isn't a person on this planet that is perfect because it doesn't exist. Trust me. I've tried to be that perfect person, okay? Embrace your quirks and your qualities. I've got tons of those. But I think when people say to me, you really do think outside the box, and my answer to that is there's a box. Okay, so embrace those qualities. They make you who you are. And then the third tip is to take care of yourself emotionally, physically, as well as mentally. And it means prioritizing your health and your well-being. And that means including taking care of all areas of your life. Hijack Mother says, Trump says he's perfect. And there you have it. My point exactly. Is he? No. So nourish your body then with healthy food and get regular exercise. And I said it earlier, make time for activities that make you happy. Okay, like I've just started playing golf. I never thought I would enjoy it. I actually think it's really cool because it's such a challenge. And when you hit that ball in the sweet spot and it actually moves instead of just like plops over there. Unbelievable excitement. Found a new level of excitement. So the fourth tip is be positive. Because when you start thinking more positively about yourself, I am really good at laughing at myself. So when I hit that ball yesterday, I put all my force behind it, didn't go anywhere. That's a lot of effort for no reward. So start thinking about your actions and show your attitude to be positive, and you'll infect everybody around you, right? And avoid those things that bring you down and the people that bring you down. If you've got negative people in life, give them a flick. You don't need them. I had to get rid of a few negative people in my life. They were sucking my energy vampires, I call them. All right, so then the fifth tip is to set boundaries. And I've got a whole workshop on this. Setting boundaries means knowing your limits and sticking to them and not letting other people take advantage of you or treat you poorly. So be assertive and stand up for yourself when necessary. All right, stop letting people push you around. And then the sixth tip is to be patient with all of that. Like Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is self-love. And it takes time to develop a healthy relationship with yourself. But as you're doing that, you'll find that your relationship with other people changes too. And you'll find that everyone around you starts treating you differently. And then all of a sudden, you start raising the energy level. You start waking up a little bit more happier. You start being more grateful. And it just becomes this like knock-on effect. So just be patient and just keep doing the work. And then the last tip is then seek professional support and help if you need it. If you're having trouble loving yourself, stop hesitating. Reach out for some help. A therapist or a counselor can help you exploring the root of your issues. And I'm really good at getting to the root of that issue and providing that guidance to move forward. So if you would like me to be that guide, I'd love to be there for you. And if you're ready to do the work or join me personally, you can join my upcoming masterclass. I will have a 6-week online personal growth reset your life program, and the details of that will be coming soon too. So that's it for me today. I just want to remind you, start making self-love a priority. It's not egotistical. It's not selfish. It's imperative for your health, so you can be happier and live a more fulfilling life. And you'll inspire everybody around you to love themselves too. And then everybody's living in a happier, more positive place. All right. So there's a waiting list to join the masterclass. So there'll be a link and put up on the screen shortly. And remember to constantly work on self-love, work on changing your mindset so you can get MindFit and go after what you really want in life. And I will see you in our next series. Thank you for joining me here, for joining my online community and sharing my YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, jump on there so you never miss anything. And my greatest wish, as always, is for you to be MindFit so you can live your best life and live it with passion. Reset, be authentic, and be you. And I will see you real soon. Bye for now. And thank you, Mark, High Tech Mother, David, Sophie, Debbie, David, Peter, and everyone who watches on replay too. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you all.